Alright guys, TJHaLy here again today. Hope you're all having a fantastic Sunday. Championship Sunday beckons. 6 teams remain in the Call of Duty World Championship for 2019 for the Black Ops 4 event. It's that time of year again. The final day of Call of Duty action for Black Ops 4. It's going to be a big one. The stage is set very, very nicely indeed. Clay versus Crimsix in the winners finals. Winner of the two teams likely takes the tournament. We'll go into exactly how that all happened in today's video and break down everything that went down yesterday. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you do, subscribe if you are new as always. Greatly appreciate a subscription if you guys have been enjoying the champs content so far. We don't know what's going to happen next year. Is there even going to be a world championship? What's even going to happen? Exciting, worrying times ahead, I guess you could say. But I guess let's hop into the content here. So first of all, let's go through some early series. First of all, we had these winners round 2 matchups. So this was one of them, Units versus Sicario. And Sicario made a pretty decent run this tournament, all things considered. Linny had a great series here, but it wasn't enough. Units, I think, are a pretty damn solid team. We saw what happened later in the day when they came up against E-United. But E-United have been doing that to a lot of teams. So we'll see exactly how that went in a second here. But Units do end up beating Sicario in this one, drop them down to losers bracket. And then we had E-United Evil Geniuses. Now this series I think is one a lot of people are probably forgetting about to some degree because of all the craziness that happened later in the day. This was an unbelievable series of Call of Duty, and I thought for a long time here, because I did a tweet yesterday saying that after Accuracy and Evil Genius here had beaten Splice, and Accuracy got hyped, I was like, yeah, okay, it's JCap's turn back against Clayster and E-United, and they were on the verge of doing it. I cannot stress that enough. Apathy had probably the best series of, I mean, okay, we can say the best 5-map series of the tournament, I would say. He was an absolute god this series, and it's just classic Apathy at champs, to be honest. E-United win map 1, but the next 2 maps go in favour of EG. The control clutch that Accuracy made was huge. Then on the Arsenal hardpoint, though, EG were up a big margin in that one. Like, look at these kills from Apathy right here. But EG were up significantly. Apathy like kind of wasted his slam because he probably thought like the game's kind of over, whatever. And E-United bring it back. They win the map 250 to 244. Ridiculous comeback from E-United. And then they take the game 5 as well. Like that could be, when we look back on this tournament, the most important series of the tournament, the most important choke, I guess, of the entire tournament from Evil Geniuses, because E-United may well be right now the best team here. Optic are obviously going to try and prove that wrong in today's matchup later today in the winners finals. We'll go on to that in a second, as I say. But if E-United do prove to be the best team in the game, this could have been the moment where they would have been knocked off their perch by Evil Geniuses. So, honestly, an incredible series to look back on over time. I think it was an unbelievable one to watch. And, I mean, look at the stats out of Simp, Arcetes and Abizi. They just carried them through at the end. And I mean, look at this S&D KD from Simp. Like, are you kidding me, Sunshine? 2.5 KD. We'll go on to exactly what happened in the later series in a second because it didn't get much worse, let's put it that way. Optic E6. This is a fun series. Few clips to share with you guys on stream right here because on stream, I don't know what I'm on about. It's a YouTube video, Sunshine. But yeah, Optic E6. Honestly, I said that E6 would be maybe a banana peel team, something like that. And, you know, they definitely played Optic close at times. The hard points were pretty comfortable for Optic Gaming. It was really the Arsenal control because Optic were up 4-1 in the search. E6 brought it back on 1-6-5. So it was impressive stuff from them. And then in the control, it was very, very close. But in that final round, Karma got the 4-man slam. And that really sealed the deal, I guess. And Optic Gaming did get past E6 in the end. Honestly, their hard point has been very, very impressive, as has E-United. So that's what's going to be an exciting thing here. E6, of course, went down to losers. Optic charged on forwards, and yeah, Optic fans right now obviously in a great position for you guys. It's possible they're going to win the championships on the final time that we might have a CoD champs. It would be a very poetic ending for sure. So far, really, this tournament reminds me of Vegas, of course, for Optic, but also London to some degree. Let's not forget at London, the first couple days, Scump was going off, you know, TJ was going off. Now, of course, right now we've had 4 days of it rather than 2 days, so it's a little bit of a different story. But I really do think that it really comes down to that match against the United. We'll go on to that in a second, but I've said that a million times. But just to get this point out the way real quick while I remember to talk about it, that, you know, Optic looked fantastic at Vegas and they won the event. They had that really close matchup against Splice, and I think the winners finals, where they had the Seaside control, the Seaside hardpoint comeback. They got past that, they won the tournament. At London, they had that series against 100 Thieves where it was very close. They lost that control, very close fashion, where Kenny got the 3-piece from Window on Arsenal, and then they lost the series, and then they went on to place, I think, top 3. So it's one or the other, I think, with Optic Gaming. If they do go down to losers from winners finals, they may struggle to beat whichever team comes up against them. That's how it goes historically. However, if they win, they'll be full of confidence, crowd behind them. You'd expect them to take the championship. So, as I say, moving onwards, Reciprocity Luminosity, what a series this was, as I wasn't actually expecting that to rhyme. Dens had a fantastic series right here, and LG went up 2-0 in the series. You thought it was all over. Reciprocity won an incredible game 5, or round 5 in the control. I think actually this was a ultimate reverse sweep where they were down 2-0 in the control. They made the reverse sweep 3-2, and then they won the next 2 maps as well, winning in a game 5 round 11 fashion. You can't get any better than that. This was a really hype moment for me in particular. I really wanted the guys to do well, and making it through the bracket is just great stuff to see. LG go down to losers, despite a pretty damn good series here on the whole, especially from the likes of Brack. And yeah, I mean, difficult situation for them. Of course, once you're down and losing, it's basically all over for you. And Reciprocity charged on. Moving onwards then, Evil Geniuses Elevate. This was a losers bracket match after EG had lost to E United, of course. And yeah, they smoked Elevate pretty much off the map here. Apart from map 1 was pretty damn close. But after that, Evil Geniuses rolled through it. And yeah, Elevate with a decent placing. But at the end of the day, it was kind of what we expected if they were to get out that pool, but really they only got out that pool because of some crazy tiebreaker situation. So good tournament from them on the whole. Sicario 100 Thieves, they lost 3-1. At the end of the day, they got completely outplayed here by 100 Thieves, apart from the search and destroy. I mean, look at these statistics out of 100T. Like, this is a team I feel like they could make this losers run. They've been down here all the way since the first round where they beat FaZe Clan in that incredible reverse sweep fashion, and now they're charging on through. And okay, they've beaten a couple of teams that maybe aren't necessarily the best in the losers bracket, but, or at least not playing their best Call of Duty, for example, like someone like FaZe, but or whatever the situation may be. But they still have it within them to make this losers run. Who knows what's going to happen on Championship Sunday? They're top 6 at the very least. They could have been top 16. So who knows how far they will potentially go. LG then Singularity. This was in the losers bracket. And, you know, Singularity beat LG 3-0 in groups earlier on in this tournament. This time, it looked like it could have even gone the same way after the first map, but yeah, that Hacienda Search and Destroy, that round 11 really swung the tides of the game, and after that you felt like LG were kind of in control, and yeah, solid series out of the Singularity guys, great tournament from them to be honest on the whole. You know, disappointing how it works out, but at the end of the day, LG were the better team here, and they proved that they were the better team after their kind of hiccup at the start of pools, which nearly got them sent out of the tournament, but impressive stuff from a lot of the European amateurs. Just wanted to say a quick word about these guys, because, you know, Kleenex is a Danish player. I'm pretty sure we don't really see too much of that. This is a lot of different, you know, nationalities and interesting things going on with Singularity. Really cool to see they've stuck together the entire year, or at least a long time of it. Had a great result at Champs. They could be on people's radar next year for franchising. Hopefully they'll be able to get a spot as like a substitute or something like that, because people have clearly seen now how talented these players are. So exciting stuff going forward. Pretty good tournament for Europe on the whole, which is nice to see. And then Team War, unfortunately for them, got reverse sweeped here by Enigma 6. They went up 2-0 in the series after this incredible map number 1. It's not actually a gridlock control, Mr. Cam Allen, but I'll leave his scoreboards link down below if you guys want to follow him. Good series from Dave and Vortex. Honestly, Vortex is playing out of his mind this weekend. Super impressed with him. You know, Vortex, Steve Vortex, the guy who was on the Epsilon team with Dave and, you know, Josh and Hawkeye back in the day when they came top 3 at Anaheim and had that good run a couple of years ago. Hasn't been as high profile this year, but has still been a great player, to be honest. So yes, unfortunately, they go out right here in a top 12 position. But at the end of the day, a decent tournament, some decent money in the back pocket after a difficult year for these guys. Hopefully we will see them again next year, but we don't know what's going to happen. E United Unit, unbelievable series. What am I seeing? Simp actually might have played perfect Call of Duty this series. I've never seen anything quite like it. He, apart from, you know, in the control he has a 1 KD. The hard point he has a 2.7. The S&D he goes 14-1. The S&D was probably the best map of CoD I've ever seen from any player, at least in recent memory. Like, that Search and Destroy was flawless with the sniper. He couldn't miss. He hit that 3-piece in the final round. I'll put it on screen, but like, I can't show every single round, but every round there was something insane going on with the strife, whether it was a 1v2, just clutching stupid stupid gunfights. When you've got a player that good and that smart and that composed, what are you meant to do against it? Units like, I just feel bad for them. They got completely destroyed. This was a screenshot of Joseph Pinnington after just seeing what happens when you run into Simp. Like, what am I meant to do against this one, Sunshine? And yeah, Rated does a couple of tweets here. I feel like I've just played Messi in one-on-one football with no legs. We could have had a 6th player. We still wouldn't have won that series. No one ever in CoD history will have a series like that again. It was truly unbelievable stuff. And United have done that to a few teams this tournament so far. Just absolutely rolled through them. And yeah, I mean, if you're Rated right now, you can't even be mad. What are you expected to do against that? I mean, look at this damage. Like, there's 66 kills in 3 maps is something honestly mind-boggling, and Abizi wasn't too far behind. So back down to the losers bracket we go. 100 Thieves versus Evil Geniuses. EG, after coming so close to beating United, they went out in a 3-0 fashion here. Somewhat of a whimper, I would say, at the end. You know, not really the best series out of the Evil Geniuses guys. But 100 Thieves looked strong, and that's what I'm saying. It must be said that these guys are starting to put together a performance here. All the way since the top 16 bracket, where Slasher was saying, you know, there's no point getting hyped even after we made that comeback versus FaZe, because we were the best team in the game a couple of months ago, and now we're sitting here struggling to stay in for top 16. But who knows, man? 100 Thieves have done it 2 events before. They're cruising through losers. If they can make it all the way, and they have a decent chance of doing so, I would say, because they play Rec, and then they'll play the winner of Units or Enigma 6. And if they win those 2 matches, which are definitely doable, then they'll play the loser of United or Optic. And as I say, if United do get the better of that series, it tends to be that when Optic go down to losers, they have a difficult time, you know, keeping their composure and keeping their high level up when they go down to losers. That's how it's been the last couple of years. Must be noted though that when they won the World Championship in 2017, the Infinite Warfare World Championship, they did go down to losers, and then they played Envy again in the grand finals and beat him in 2 best-of-5s. So maybe there's something to that. But 100 Thieves won their series, all, like, you know, I mean, the star players went off. What can you say? Great series overall. Fantastic to watch. And yeah, they moved onwards in the tournament. Optic Gaming Reciprocity then. This was a big one. I always felt like Optic were going to have an advantage here. I feel like Rec yes, they had a great result against Luminosity, but when it comes to these kind of pressure matches on the big stage against Optic with the crowd behind them, I felt like it was going to be difficult for them to keep their composure. And at the end of the day, they did win that control in a very impressive fashion. But apart from that, the other maps weren't particularly close. You always felt like Optic had a handle on it. And yeah, honestly, a great series from Crim. Probably his series of the weekend. Like, great performances out of, you know, Scump, Dashy, and TJ. They all had their moments. But Dashy even had that 5-piece. It wasn't in this series. It was in the Enigma 6 one, which I probably put on screen earlier. But still a crazy moment. And Crimsix had a great series here, which really is pretty key factor. If Karma or Crimsix can have a great series, then Optic can beat pretty much anyone. Because Crim went off like all of the maps here, apart from the control, and well, especially the hard point in the search. Crim had great maps, and it's very difficult to deal with that if you're any other team. When you've got Scump, TJ, and Dashy frying as well, then Crimsix is putting up numbers. It's very difficult to deal with that. So Optic move onwards here against Reciprocity. They'll go down to losers, and one final series of the day, E6LG. E6 get the better of them and actually win pretty comfortably in the end these last 2 maps. Impressive stuff. Once again, it's on the SMGs, to be honest, because Formal Bracken Skies have solid series, but you know, apart from the Search and Destroy for Brack wasn't so good, but it's Slacked and John who kind of, especially John, who had difficulty putting up the numbers, and as a result they lose the series, to be honest. Like, it really does come down to the SMGs. LG go out in a top 8 placing. And I'm not incredibly surprised by this. It's maybe where I thought they'd be, kind of maybe top 8, top 6, something like that. Because I felt like, you know, coming into this tournament, the SMGs being super important, it's going to be difficult for Slack and John to keep up that incredible level throughout the entire weekend. But impressive stuff from E6. And honestly, it kind of talks to Optic Gaming and how impressive they've been. Beating Evil Geniuses in pools, who had a very close matchup against E United. And then Enigma 6, of course, Optic Gaming beat them as well, just to send them down to losers. Now they're beating Luminosity. So Optic obviously a very hot prospect right now. So I thought I'd share this with you guys. I'm not sure whether this is true, but it has a lot of upvotes, so I guess it is true. Every Champ Sunday Karma has been at, he's won. So of course, last year in World War II, wasn't even on the team. Previous events, I guess, yeah, Black Ops 3, they came top 8, and Advanced Warfare, they came top 8 as well. So I guess this is correct. Every Champ Sunday Karma's been at, he's won. Interesting fact from Slayer here. Claire's finished 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, 8th at Champs. Which one is missing? It's the 2nd place. So whether either that happens, that would be quite the story. But just some interesting stats to keep your eyes on. So here we go. This is the schedule for tonight at 6 PM British Summer Time, so about 5 and a bit hours from when this video is going live. Unit E6, Reciprocity 100 Thieves will take place in the losers bracket. Loser comes top 6. Winners move on. And then just after that series, E United Optic Gaming, this could be the championship decider. I do think that whoever loses this still has a decent chance of making it back to the grand finals and winning. But you know how it works. Typically, the winner's final determines the grand final champion. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. I feel like this is going to be a Game 5 series. It's very tough to call for me. I feel like at the start of the event, I said E United were going to win, so I might as well stick to my guns and say that E United will take Optic here in a Game 5, that Simp will turn up, or whatever the case may be. But if Optic can shut down Simp as they shut down Dylan in their series against Rek, then Optic can definitely win. This is a very 50-50 series for me. I'm probably going 55-45 E United, but I'm sure you guys will have different thoughts in the comment section below on what you guys might have seen this weekend. I'm sure you've been watching. So then after that, then we've had the losers finals. Or we'll have the winner of Unit E6, Rek, 100 Thieves, they'll play each other, and then they will play the loser of E United Optic, and then we have the grand finals at 10:30 my time, which is honestly a pretty damn good time. Finish at midnight, I'll be able to get up for work, no problems at all, with any luck. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, hope you guys enjoyed Championship Sunday, it's going to be a cracker. Thank you guys so much for watching, like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new as always, thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time.